Hi, my name is Mirko, and we are in Greece, in the Peloponnese, and here we have a first look of the Acropolis of Mycenae. Big, megalithic, polygonal, walled city near Argos. Okay, here we are getting closer to the entrance. There's quite some people. This is a very touristy place. We had to pay €12 entrance. And here is the world famous Lion's Gate. Huge. Okay, I'll check the Lion's Gate in a moment when there's less people. I just want to point out, here we have huge squared blocks, not really very well fit together. And then just behind here, there's this piece of beautiful polygonal wall. Really nice, really tight fitting. Here too. So again, it looks like a mixture of styles. You see, just close to this polygonal wall, there's these huge square blocks. Look at this one. Okay, just to show this one block. It's huge, really incredible. It's not only large by vicino, but it's thick and deep as well. And it's not the only one. There's a huge, cammino lungo questo e poi vado avanti all'entrata. Just to give a sense of scale, I let Deborah walk in front of it. And I recall she's 1.60 meters.
Have you seen a wild dog in here? Yeah.
The door is about 3.5 meters tall, I'd say, guessing from her side, from her height. And the lintel here is estimated at 20 tons. Huge. Everything is megalithic and big. That's the Lion's Gate from the back. Any footage I do doesn't give credit to the size. So that's about 2.40 meters I get up with my hand. That's certainly more than 2 meters. Huge. Okay, we just came in from the Lion's Gate, and here the citadel goes up. We cannot enter. There's this strange construction here, which is there's a double series of vertical slabs going around. It's about rounded. There's almost like a corridor between the two. You can see it here. The slabs will be about 1.5 meters high or something, but I'm not sure they have been completely unearthed. And there's something down there, but we can't go in. It's closed at the moment. So that's a shame, but that's the way it is. Anyway, in the background you can see again the plain of Argos and the sea in the background. Beautiful view. Okay, from here we have a view of this circle of slab of stones, double circle. You can see that on one side it's open, right there, and it's officially considered to have been, guess what? A grave for the kings. Okay, let's look at the gate of the Lions Gate, and now we go up to the Acropolis, which is up there. Okay, one sight from the top. We are now at the main palace on the top of the citadel, or the Acropolis, however you want to call it. And you can see there's quite some construction even outside the walls, but it's all, I'd say, of a lower quality. About down there. So we are right at the top of the hill. You can see a piece, slightly indicated a wall here, but it's actually a rocky hill. There's not much left anymore. I can walk a little bit around, but see. So either everything just disappeared, or it was just a sacred place since ancient times and we just left like this. But I believe there was something, but it was just taken away. It's beautiful. There's a 360 degrees view over the olive trees and the orchards, or orchards, I'm not sure, and then the valley. And there's two hills over here, one over there and another one over here. And now I've done the 360. So here the backside of the palace on the top. You can see down there a piece of the main polygonal wall around the city. And there's quite a gorge here. Well, there's a little piece of wall over there. I'm not sure what it was supposed to defend. And so apparently my guess is that the water for the city, if it was a city, would come from this little, I don't know, wadi, gorge, small gorge coming down from the hills. So I'll spare you the details of what this place was supposed to be. They say it was the artisans' quarter. There's a few remaining buildings, but as you can see, it's definitely lower quality. There's a last piece of the surrounding wall here. There's even a gate there, nice, triangular. I just wanted to point out the fact that we've seen yesterday the polygonal pyramid, and which is supposed to be about 1,500 or 1,000 years earlier than this building, but you can see that this gate has the same shape. It's got a triangular top. So Mycenaean culture should have been around 1,500 BC. It's an interesting passageway. It's about 5 meters long and takes you right outside the main retaining wall, or defensive wall, or whatever it was. And here we have a nice passage. Let's go see where it takes us. Beautiful. Triangular again. There's even midway the passage, there's a lintel and a column, or something to hold the lintel. It's like some crypt or something. Okay, we just came in from there, and here we cannot go on, but actually the passageway goes on. There's a stairway going down, but it's very deep. You cannot really see much farther than the light beam is not strong enough. Here we have a beautiful gate, again with a huge lintel, huge stones. So we are outside the city wall. You can see the gate, that there. And here there's this hole which actually connects us to that corridor I entered before, which was about, officially it was considered to be a entrance to the cistern, the water reservoir of the city. And here there's another small entrance. So we just came outside the walls. Here is the entrance again, the Lion's Gate. And yeah, there's too many people inside, honestly. It's not enjoyable anymore. Anyway, just an observations. I just calculated this single block here on the ground. It's 2.5 meters long by 1 meter 20 wide by about 1 meter high. And by considering a density of 2.5 tons per cubic meter, this would weigh 7.5 tons. So it might be 6, okay? Because I'm not really sure what the density of this conglomerate is. But still, that's very, very heavy. I mean, it's not the only one, as you can see. And another strange thing is you have this wall with square blocks, and actually the polygonal wall we just saw before is coming. It's not really, I mean, it's not a continuation one of the other. There was a wall and there was another wall built later. Furthermore, this polygonal wall is of this yellow, I guess, limestone mixture. There's also some conglomerate sandstone, and then on the bottom it's actually leaning on this other wall, which is actually almost completely underground at the moment, with another type of stone. You can see the difference in color. So it's really like a mixture. But yeah, this is definitely a nice polygonal wall, and the joints are quite precise. And then you go on, there's these huge blocks here, just to show you, Deborah, how small she is compared to that block over there. It's a huge block, and it's not the only one, but here the style changes. There's these huge blocks compared to the nice polygonal over there. Here you have the huge blocks with smaller stones in between, which is again what would be called a polygonal wall of the second kind. And here it gets higher, and go a little bit farther so we can see on top of it, because it's really high. We walk along this wall, it's going to be 100 or 200 meters. And here, by going on, we have again the style changes, the stones get smaller, and it looks like again like a polygonal wall of the third kind. Not that precise as the first one we saw, but so I mean, this is strange because it sort of gives indications. Again, here we go back to a second kind with small stones in between and larger blocks all together. The wall here is certainly 7 meters tall, just to show you, compared to me. Vai in modo che si veda anche la cima. Again, I'm 2 meters tall, so you can see there's probably 3 of me, maybe more, to go to the top. Just to give a sense of scale. Thank you. And okay, we just walk along this wall. There's nobody here, at least. I can enjoy it a little bit better. It's an impressive wall anyway. I mean, each block is certainly more than a ton, the big ones. I'm going up easily to 3, 4, 5 tons. It's not a very chosen type of rock, because there's blocks of different type, different kinds. Some are more limestone, some are more conglomerate, some almost look like sandstone. Anyway, we have been now walking for 150 meters, and the wall goes on, as you can see over there. It's not finished yet. And then here we have again a part. This is going up, certainly maybe 10 meters. Vai sotto quel pezzo lì. And this is a very nice polygonal wall, really beautiful. And just you see this little part in between. It's been, maybe there was a collapse sometime. So we go from that kind, which is the second kind, large stones with smaller stones in between, just suddenly we move to a very nice and precise piece of polygonal wall that's about, I guess, 20 meters long. And just now to show you how tall it is, I'll let Deborah go on the bottom. See, it's really, I mean, the wall goes up, you can even see it, it goes up at least 4 or 5 meters compared to what it was before. Okay, now you can have a comparison with Deborah, which is 1.60 meters, and also the block size. It looks, they're not as big as the rougher ones, but still big. And it's a beautiful style here. Real polygonal. And on the far side there, the polygonal wall is leaning onto the older, or let's say the other style's wall, whereas here it's just a straight line. It's like a bastion where everything changes, the wall gets lower. Probably this one has withstood the elements better. Maybe that's why it's taller, but I mean, it's hard to believe that this was the same culture doing this. And I'll just take a walk in front of it to show you the different kind of joints you have here. And they also come out. Let's say the joints are at a more inner level than here. Here it just, sorry, here it's lower than here. It comes out. You can see it now from with the sun. It just came out and gives evidence to this way of constructing. It's leaning forward as well, which is not really giving some feeling of security here, but if it's still there, it's not going to collapse today. Hope so. And you can see the joints in some places are really, really, really nice. Here too. Even though it's not a really hard stone, it's not a very nice stone, honestly said, but the joints are really nice. Very straight, very precise, which actually makes it even more difficult with this type of stone, because you cannot really cut it as well as you would some more dense and stable stone. So these are not small stones, they're not as big as others we've seen, but still they are certainly a few hundred kilos, if not more, depending on each individual block is bigger. There's a smaller one here. There's a nice little corner here. A nice little corner here. There's another one here. So there we have the nicely polygonal wall, and then here we go back to actually larger stones, but not so precise. And this type of wall construction reminds me a lot of the wall in Roselle in Tuscany. It's really built in the same way, the same kind of rough, huge blocks of stone with smaller stones in between to fill in the unprecise joints. So from this single spot near the entrance you can see 3 different construction styles. We have the so-called polygonal type of the second kind, with huge blocks of stones but not very tight fitting, with smaller stones in between. Then you have that little part of a polygonal construction of the third kind, with polygonal stones nicely fitting one with the other. And then you have the either square kind or polygonal stone type of the fourth kind, where it's based on square blocks, which are then sometime adapted to the others, as you can see in that the first lower stone to the left. And behind you have something similar, I would guess. That part there a little bit higher is again a square type or a polygonal kind of the fourth kind. So all together within 50 meters. That's quite curious, at least, I'd say.